Good evening and welcome to another episode of Experience Bar, where we're turning video games into cocktails. My name is Jack and I'll be your bartender for this evening as I'm showing you how you can enjoy a tall, frosty glass of blue milk at home. So, blue milk in the Star Wars universe first appeared in A New Hope, during a kind of like a minor scene between Luke and his uncle on that moisture farm. Interesting thing, Mark Hamill said that the milk that they used was that gross, like long life milk that they'd put some blue dye into. He said he absolutely hated drinking it, but he decided to go through with it anyway because he thought, oh, when's the next time I'm gonna get to drink blue milk on camera? Little did he know that a few decades later in The Last Jedi, he would get a chance to reprise his role in that really gross scene where he milks that unidentified creature and like slurps it back in front of Rey. I watched that in the cinema and you could hear how uncomfortable everyone was when he made direct eye contact. It was yuck. Thankfully, we're not making that, and we're not gonna make you guys milk your own unidentified creature to make this. No, we are making our own version of blue milk without any actual milk in it. Let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna grab our shaker filled with ice to about a 3/4 mark and add 1.5 ounces of gin. I'm using 1919 gin, but feel free to use whatever gin takes your fancy. You can use Bombay Sapphire or Seeger's or Gordon's. Just make sure it's a gin that you like. Follow that up with 3/4 ounce of blue curacao, 1/4 ounce of just plain old simple syrup, and 1/2 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. You'll also need some egg white, but don't put that in yet, because we're going to give this a good old shake. Lovely. Now, you're going to need to discard the ice. Now, normally you could just strain it out and then chuck it out and then put the liquid back in, but because we don't have a sink, we're going to have to do this a little bit convoluted. We'll speed this up, don't worry. Lovely. And now, you're ready to go. This is the point at which you add the egg white. You don't want to add it beforehand because it doesn't create the foam, which is the whole point of adding egg white to any drink. There we go. And shaking part 2. Now, you'll need to do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. And you're going to need to do it pretty hard. I'm not doing it as hard as I should be because I'm talking to you guys, which means I have to do it for a bit longer. You're shaking so that you are emulsifying the egg. If you've got a transparent shaker, like I do, you'll be able to see when it's done because you won't be able to actually see the drink anymore. All you'll see is egg foam. And I reckon that is about done. By the way, don't be tempted to swap your shaker and do it in another shaker. The coldness of the shaker is what actually creates the seal, and if you just use a lukewarm shaker, it will explode everywhere. Lessons learned the hard way. Trust me. You're going to need to grab a Collins glass. No ice, do not add ice to this. And strain it on in. Make sure you get all the foam in the shaker. In there. You may need to kind of coax it out a little bit because Hawthorne strainers do trap it a little bit. There we go. Pop that to the side. And now you are going to add some soda water just to top it up. This also helps to create some additional foam. See? Cool, right? And the final step is the straw. Eco straw, don't use plastic straws. Save our dolphins, save our oceans. And pop it on in. You know when you've done this right, when you put the straw in and you can just put it in the center and it doesn't move, it doesn't slip to one side or the other. If it does slip, you need to shake it more next time. But that's enough talking about it. Let's get to drinking it. Cheers. God, didn't want to let go. So yeah, Star Wars. You might be wondering, Jack, why are you making a Star Wars drink? This is a video game cocktail show. Haha! And to that, I say, Star Wars has a lot of games. A lot of very, very good games, in fact. I'm a really big fan of Knights of the Old Republic. The MMO, The Old Republic, was also pretty good. There's also some old school Bounty Hunter and all the games with Kyle Katarn, Jedi Academy. The list is pretty significant. But all of them have some kind of mention of blue milk. Well, I don't say all of them. most of them, a lot of them, a significant number of them mention blue milk and have them either as a consumable that you can drink in the game, or it just mentions it offhand. It's kind of weird to have this as an iconic part of the Star Wars universe, and yet here we are. The drink itself is based around a silver gin fizz, which is simply just gin, lemon juice, simple syrup, egg white, and then topped up with soda water. But we've swapped out some of the simple syrup for blue curacao, which is in itself quite sweet, but it also adds a little bit of orange liqueur flavor to it. Makes it a little bit more interesting. The egg white kind of bigs up the drink and has that lovely foam. It's very pretty. It's very refreshing though, overall as a drink. You can really imagine kind of sitting on your moisture farm, sitting on the porch and having a sip of this as the hot winds blow around you. It's very satisfying to drink, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. But yeah, that's it. That is the blue milk from Star Wars. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you like what we're doing here, please give us a like and a subscribe, or head over to our socials to catch up on all the inevitable fuck-ups that I make, and we release them on there, as well as some behind-the-scenes footage. If you want to support the show more directly, however, please do head over to our Patreon. We've got a few exclusive recipes for our patrons up there, including a D&D recipe book that you can't find anywhere else. Hope to see you there, but until then, cheers.